afternoon and welcome back to AMU News. I'm Big Nalini. Today we are looking at the concepts of Buddhism and its effect in today's society. Joining us from the field is journalist Jacob Watt. Watt to you.
Thanks for the introduction, Vig. What we're talking about here is Buddhism, which essentially consists of the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. And now these are the key concepts or the constructs that essentially make up the Buddhist religion. So the Four Noble Truths are what are associated with the awakening that Buddha underwent when he essentially founded the Buddhist religion. Now these Four Noble Truths are the truth of suffering, the truth of arising from suffering, the truth of the cessation of suffering, and the truth of the path that leads to the cessation of suffering. Essentially, this is recognizing the suffering that is within yourself, recognizing what makes you suffer, the end of your suffering and recognizing that there is an end, and also what makes you stop suffering. Now, suffering doesn't necessarily mean like a physical suffer. This is more to do with your soul type deal. So hand in hand with that is the Eightfold Path, which Buddhists follow, and this is not necessarily steps. This is more principles that deal with morality, meditation, wisdom, and these are meant to purify the mind and to help one from straying into foul thoughts and actions. These are more used as tools and contemplations that one would use for everyday life to help them, stay the course and be able to be what is essentially a good and pure practicing Buddhist. In today's world, the application of these teachings has, for the most part, and it is viewed that these teachings have never been more important or more applicable. When you're talking about the mainstream and the way that people handle themselves in materialistic living, this is essentially teaching a form of minimalism, because we look at Buddhist thought, we look at Buddhist philosophy, and it's essentially cutting down on the excess and getting back to the core of what it means to be alive and what it means to live. In today's world, again, we're talking about mainstream, the latest phone, the latest TV, the latest and greatest, for lack of better terms. And this is where that art of minimalism and Buddhist teaching comes into play. And this is never rung more clearly than it has recently with millennials, especially. You flip on the TV, especially flip on HGTV, for example, and they've got plenty of shows on tiny homes and micro farms and how to declutter, how to stop being the materialistic kind of pack rat that we have become in modern society. And people are starting to figure out that they're happier when they are living with less, more or less. You're still taking care of the things that you need, but it's more focusing less on the things that you want and more on the things that really make you tick. So with that, back to you, Vig.